How many of you have been on a date with a vegetarian or been with a vegetarian? Well, I haven't. I'm going to tell you about the truth about being in the same situation. I've been talking about, I'll be talking about some non-advantages of being a vegetarian. I've been living with a vegetarian for about 3 years. I knew her for about 6. A vegetarian is something hard to do with when I'm trying to eat, but then I got over it. I'm sure all of you had contact with vegetarians and wonder about their diets. Today I'll discuss what a vegetarian is, how they're healthier, and I'll show you a disadvantage of being a vegetarian. First thing I would like to let you know about vegetarians is people assume that vegetarians eat only salads, although they prefer a salad over a meat does not mean that they won't eat it. Vegetarian diets do not include meat. People who follow a vegetarian diet are called vegetarians. They do not eat animal meat, poultry, or fish. Many vegetarians also avoid other animal products such as gentle, and animal fats. Vegetarians who eat eggs and dairy products are called vegetarians. It's hard for the body to absorb iron from plants that are meat from poultry and fish when you eat plant foods that have iron. Examples are citrus fruits, tomatoes, and broccoli that are easily to absorb iron. Zinc is not easy to absorb from plant food, as if animal products. Vegetarians may not need to eat more zinc than people need to eat meat. Be sure to include good source of zinc. Zinc can also come from beans and other type of vegetables. Be sure to eat a variety of foods to get full complement of protein. Now that you have an idea of what a vegetarian is, let's take a look at how it's healthier. People assume that vegetarians eat only salads, although are not eating meat does not get their protein from other sources. The proverbial diet protein among vegetarians make individuals assume of diet of Eskimos. In addition to assuming that dairy, other food and nutrition professionals can also play key roles in education vegetarian source of specific nutrition foods purchased and parodies and dairy, I can't read, I'm sorry, to meet their needs. JM Diet Source 2009. So I'm going to explain. When I go to the person that I usually go out with, I usually hit BK because kind of cheap, but then McDonald's cheaper. She usually gets a veggie burger, which is like 3 something. With me, I usually get 3 hamburgers because it's about the same price. I'm on a budget, so I eat 3 hamburgers. She eats 1. I don't know how that differs, but to me, it's you can munch with the 3 hamburgers and one veggie burger, which is me turns better to me. People know that being a vegetarian is a healthier way to go, but being a vegetarian is expensive. Like I was saying, that there's 1 hamburger compared to 3 hamburgers, which is more money choice. What a vegetarian paid would compare to a non-vegetarian. Fast food is easier for meat eaters, but not for vegetarians because it's not so healthy. Healthier processed food. Most importantly, your health is worth the minimum investment of a few extra dollars than to check out counter because good health priceless. When I mean by that, like vegetarians eat healthier, so they have better health, they can live longer. But being a vegetarian, you eat more fat, more grease, more stuff that's not good for your body. So, long run, you probably have to save more money to get like a Botox for your skin because you this nasty stuff that's making your body look older, and you have to get liposuction because it's too fat or eating too much of the food. So that's about it.
All right, hang on a second.
Is that a VGA? Okay.
I don't know.
I'll take a look at it.
Yeah. Jessica, go ahead and tell us what you thought.
I thought he had an interesting, strong thesis statement, and he outlined all his points well. What I think he really needed to work on was being a little more descriptive about things, and he needed to have visual aids. But otherwise, I felt that his speech was really good. And he got his topic out clearly.
All right, David. Once again, we got a rhetorical question survey as our attention device, so it's a little underwhelming. I think I would have appreciated the story about the hamburgers. I get 3 hamburgers, and my girlfriend gets 1, veggie burger when we go out. And you know what? We're paying pretty much the same price for those kinds of things. It's tough being a vegetarian because it's kind of expensive, and that's what I want to talk to you about. The issues that you face. Either being a vegetarian or living with a vegetarian, because that's why I'm talking about this kind of thing. And I think that would be a lot more effective as an attention device. You identify the topic, so that part's okay. Your thesis statement feels rushed. You need to have a clearer transition to it, and you're doing so much reading that it doesn't even feel like you were talking to us, even at the beginning of the speech, when you're the one who's supposed to definitely be introducing this subject to us. Now, later on, I know that there are a few places where you're quoting material, and I know you're quoting material because you're using language that you haven't practiced, and it sounds like you're reading it for the first time. And that needs to be attributed. And that's another illustration of one of the problems with the delivery, is that you've got a lot of material here that doesn't feel like it's been, thought out, that you are presenting it to us in a way that this is what I want to say about it. It just sometimes feels like you are cutting and pasting some information and sticking it in with a couple of points that you did have to talk about. I like the parts of the speech much more where you were talking about your own personal experience. It sounds a lot more natural. The other things should be used as a supplement. There was one spot where you basically repeated the exact same transition a second time, and it felt like you were lost, and you didn't even know that you were lost, that you had basically covered this material before, and now you're going into another set of material, but you're using exactly the same language to get to that second set of material there. And so it just doesn't feel like it's been planned very well when it comes to the content. Which is strange, because one of the better things in the speech is that you had a pretty clear setup of what the structure was going to be, but your payoff in the body of the speech is not as strong. The transitions and the organizational signposting there are problematic. I think it's pretty obvious that your visual materials are not going to score very high on the presentation because you didn't have any. This is one of those things that I don't understand why people wouldn't pay more attention to this. On the evaluation form, it's 25 points out of your grade, and you've got nothing that you are bringing to the table on this to help us appreciate the subject, even just remind us of what the topic was. If it's just seeing the menu, the veggie burger on the McDonald's menu would be something that would add a little bit more to the presentation and help us remember it. And I think that you could make an effort to do something along those lines. The presentation issues, when you're reading, it's just hard to follow what you're saying when you're reading, because the language just doesn't sound very natural. You have trouble with some of the pronunciation on the awkward terms, omnivorous or whatever the other